Welcome to another episode of Battle Axe, coming to you from the Ironside Open at the Ironside Axe Club in Des Moines. I'm Joey Danya, alongside Bobby the Blade Bradford. This tournament features some of the best axe throwers in the world. They're here competing for a championship, and it's been a thrilling tournament thus far with a fantastic atmosphere to boot. If you're new to the program, before we get the competition started here in this episode, let's go over the rules. All of the rings are worth 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 points. The red dot is the bullseye. That's worth 6 points. If you miss the bullseye, but you land the blade inside the ring around the bullseye, you get 5 points. Now, the small blue ring on the outermost ring in the one ring, that's called the kill shot. If you hit that, you get 8 points. If you miss it, you get nothing. If you get it in the blue ring, that's worth 7 points. High risk, high reward.
Absolutely. High risk, high reward. We've seen a lot of kill shots in these matches so far. We've seen a lot of them determine the outcome of these matches as well, Joey.
Next up, it's going to be Brian Lawson taking on Evan Foley.
Yeah, so carry over from our last episode here. Brian Lawson versus Evan Foley. Evan with a 1-0 lead going into the second match. We'll see if Brian can force a game number 3 here.
So Evan Foley looking to put it away in 2 as Brian Lawson looks to force a game 3.
No, Evan very close to hitting a bullseye there, but off the mark. A couple 5s for both competitors going into the second throw. Brian, off the mark, going down Broadway here, so can't be that great of a feeling for him. Electing to go for that upper right-hand side bullseye now. Ooh, and that looks like that could be a devastating throw there for Evan. You can see him kind of working on his throw a little bit. That's going to be a 3 there for Evan, so a 2-point advantage here. 10-8 for Brian Lawson going into the third throw here.
Well, a big mistake there from Evan Foley, but it comes early on throw number 2, so plenty of time to make up for that mistake.
Yeah, we saw both competitors in the last match, Joey, kind of get stuck in that throwing ring just a little bit. And we're going to see Evan's got to be hoping that's popping through in the bottom part of that blade there for a 5. But ruled another 3 there for Evan. So back-to-back 3s here for Evan Foley. Down by 4 going into the fourth throw. Not the position he wants to be in.
The hole just got a lot bigger. But once again, still plenty of time to work his way back into this one. He's just going to have to get sharp.
Absolutely. In our previous matchup with these two, we did see Brian get off to a very slow start here. And he was able to come back and make it a game, although Evan did come out the victor. But both players turning the tide here with a couple of 6s. And you can see a lot of excitement going on here at the Ironside Open, Joey.
Yeah, the energy in this building has been fantastic, and it's really starting to pick up here in this one. Especially where you consider what point we are in this tournament. We're getting awfully close to crowning a champion.
Yeah, the number of competitors keeps dwindling down, so the axes are flying and very accurate as well. So another bullseye there for Evan and a chance for what we dare not speak. And unfortunately for Ryan, he loses a point here going into the turn. So at the turn, Brian Lawson loses a point. We'll see how he responds. We'll see how both competitors actually respond here after the turn. Brian going down Broadway. He's going to be hoping that's got to be popping through on the right-hand side of that blade. At least for a 5, and ruled a 5 there for both competitors. Very close to being a 6, though. We'll see if Evan wants to get a second opinion. But he elects to uphold the ruling.
So it remains a 3-point advantage for Lawson. 31-28. 4 throws to go here in regulation.
And Brian going for that upper right-hand side bullseye. We'll see if that's popping through on the left-hand side of the blade. And a very close throw there by Evan as well. And Brian with the bullseye and Evan with the 5. So Brian able to get that point back.
Well, a big shot from Brian Lawson to extend his lead. It's 37-33. Only 3 throws to go for Foley to get back in this one.
I can see a little bit of air there in Brian's throw. Evan electing to go down Broadway, and it looks like that could be possibly a 5 there for both competitors, and that is the case.
And Lawson more than happy to trade points with Foley at this point. Foley's going to go up for the kill shot, trailing by 4. Doesn't look like Lawson will match him.
Yeah, only up by 4. Very smart move here for Brian to just play the board. Going for that upper left-hand side bullseye. He's going to be hoping that's popping through the bottom part of that blade there for a 5.
Foley's got to have this.
Ooh.
Looks like he might at least have a 7. It's going to come down to a crucial ruling.
I think he's got a 7 for sure. We'll wait for official word. Wow, so a 7 there for Evan, able to pick up 2 points going into the 10th throw. I think we're going to see another kill shot attempt here, Joey.
Well, Evan Foley with a huge shot, getting the 7, putting the pressure on Brian Lawson. Will he go up for the kill shot as well? Doesn't look like he's going to.
No, he's only up by 2. It'd be a very, very dangerous call, especially down 0-1, Joey. You want to force a game 3. You want to just play that board. But as it stands, though, it looks like that could possibly be a 4 there for Brian. And, it's all for naught as Evan is off the mark.
Foley had his chance to get the win and put this one away, but instead it's Brian Lawson getting the win in game number 2. We'll play a game 3 between these two competitors.
Yeah, just a tremendous matchup here by both competitors, as you can see there. Evan did get off to a little bit of a slow start here with a couple threes there on his second and third throw. He did do a nice job of responding with a couple of bullseyes. Wasn't able to capitalize on the unicorn, but he did do a nice job of making his way back into this match. Great kill shot 7 there on his 9th throw. Set himself up for a position to at least tie this game and force sudden death. But for him, he has got around a 45. Just needs to stay out of that 3 ring, which is a rule of thumb for all competitors. And then for Brian Lawson, just a tremendous job of fighting back and making this thing go to a three-game match here. As you can see, a couple bullseyes there on the scorecard. I'm sure he would like a little bit more going into game number 3, but as it stands, 51-45, not a bad score.
Well, our next matchup, it's going to be Shane Funky taking on Colby Pudell.
Yeah, so we saw Shane last year here at the Ironside Open. It's our first time seeing Colby here. With the first match 0-0 of the best of 3. Shane with a nice flush bullseye there right down the middle.
Pudell's got to hope that's a 5. It's a 3 for Pudell, so 1 throw in, and it's a 3-point lead for Funky.
Yeah, really confident throw there by Shane. For Colby, you got to wonder if the nerves are starting to kind of take over. He's getting very far here in this Ironside Open. We'll see how he responds after that 3. And I believe the referee has let the competitors know that there is some infraction in the wood here. They're electing whether they want to have the boards replaced. Both players look like they are perfectly fine with playing these boards.
Yeah, you are playing each board half of the time, so
Correct.
There's no advantage for either player.
Well, and we've seen players before, sometimes that wood gets really beat up, especially after a long tournament like this. So you want those bullseyes to be crisp so you can make those right calls here. But, man, with a 3 there on the second throw, we are all tied up 9-9 here going into the third throw. Looks like those are a couple flush bullseyes by both competitors. And it is.
Well, Pudell and Funky heating up here at the Ironside Open.
I mean, that's just a tremendous turn of events here for Colby, throwing that 3 on his first throw, following up with a nice bullseye, and then gifted a 3 there by Shane Funky. So it's all for naught as after 3 throws, we're all tied up at 15 here going into the 4th throw. We'll see. It looks like that could be popping through on the left-hand side there for Shane.
Well, Pudell is pumped up, and rightfully so.
Yeah, so
After throwing a 3, he's right back in this one, only down by 1.
Going down the middle is Pudell, and it looks like that's going to be another bullseye there for Shane, and a bullseye there for Colby as well.
Well, what a fun first half this was between Funky and Pudell. It's Shane Funky leading 27-26. Outside of that 1-3, he was perfect.
Absolutely, yeah. Both players actually throwing really well. Colby doing a really nice job of responding after that 3. Looks like we're going to get a couple 5s here. Yeah, it's not popping through on the left-hand side of the blade there for Colby, but no ground gain, no ground lost. 32-31 going into the 7th throw. Shane always having a fun time out here. A tremendous thrower. Very competent in many disciplines, actually.
Another 6 for Shane Funky, a 5 for Pudell. So Funky extends his lead to 2.
Yeah, 38-36 going into the 8th throw. Very important for Colby to try to sneak a point if he can before the 9th throw here, especially with that new 7-ring rule. Electing to go down the middle, and that's going to be a bullseye there for Shane and a 5 there for Colby. So not the result that Colby wanted. And you can see there's the indication for the kill shot here, down by 3.
Yeah, no hesitation from Pudell. He knew right away he was going to go up for the kill shot here. He's got to have it.
Shane electing to play the board here. Oh, we're going to see here. That's going to be a close call, Joey. And it is a hit 8 kill shot there for Colby. So able to get 2 points here on Shane.
Colby Pudell with ice in his veins. He hits the kill shot on throw 9 to get within a point of Shane Funky. What a finish we've got in store between these two.
Well, both players electing to go for the kill shot. Shane up by 1. Electing to play first. We're going to get a close look at that one. That's a very close throw. Oh, I think I see some wood popping through on the left-hand side of Shane's blade. And it's a hit 8 there for Colby.
Colby, the kill shot Pudell. What a finish here for Pudell to get the victory, a comeback over Shane Funky.
Yeah, what a tremendous comeback here for Colby after starting this match off with a 3, followed up with 2 consecutive 6s and another 6 there on his 5th throw. But Joey, the tail of the tape really comes down to this 9th and 10th throw with ice in his veins, going for back-to-back kill shots, hitting the kill shot 8 to come away with the victory 57-50 over Shane Funky, who was very much in control of this matchup. You know, he did have that 3 there on his 2nd throw, but followed that up with 3 consecutive 6s, had another unicorn there on his 7th through 9th throw. So unfortunately for him, he is down 0-1 to Colby Pudell, who showed just a tremendous amount of fortitude to stick with this match, stick with his throw, and see if he can finish the sweep here.
Yeah, Pudell trailed the entire time until that final kill shot. That's what makes the kill shot so exciting. We'll be right back with much more Battle Axe here on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe. I'm Joey Dania alongside Bobby the Blade Bradford. We're here in Des Moines, Iowa at the Ironside Axe Club for the Ironside Open. Some of the world's best competing for a championship. What a fun tournament this has been. Great atmosphere here at the Ironside Axe Club. It's been a great time.
Oh, it's been a tremendous tournament so far. We've seen so many great matches and excited for this next one.
It's going to be Game 3 between Brian Lawson and Evan Foley.
Yeah, so Brian Lawson able to force a rubber match here between Evan Foley. Both players have been struggling just a little bit with that 3-ring. We'll see if they can eliminate that from their round here and advance in the Ironside Open.
Both of these players have had a fantastic tournament thus far. They're looking to keep it going as long as possible.
Yeah, a couple 5s there for both competitors here after their first throw. But yeah, to your point, Joey, all these competitors have been just throwing tremendously throughout this entire tournament. You know, it's a shame that anyone's tournament ever has to end, but man, hats off to these wonderful throwers and the show they've been able to put on here at the Ironside Axe Club.
Glad we've got a front row seat.
Looks like a bullseye there for Brian Lawson and a bullseye there for Evan Foley. So no surprise, after 2 throws, we're all tied up 11-11.
Yeah, excited to see how this one plays out here. A winner-take-all game number 3.
Yeah, we've seen some matchups, Joey, where, the players have lost, but they haven't really made any mistakes. In this matchup, we've seen both Brian and Evan make some serious mistakes here, with a back-to-back 3s by both competitors in the first match. Evan with back-to-back 3s there in the second match. So I think for both of them, they would like to eliminate those as much as possible. But I think it's a situation where it's the first player to crack.
Nice throw there from Foley. See what the ruling is.
And there's a 5 there for Brian and a 6 for Evan. So Evan able to tie this thing up 22-22 going into the 5th throw. So nice consistent round by both throwers.
Back and forth between Lawson and Foley. Who's going to build some separation? We'll see.
Yeah, we talk so much about keeping your pedal to the metal, eliminating mistakes, not relying on your opponent to make mistakes, but I think in this situation, Joey, this is what's going to happen here. Both players, they love to throw consistently. It's going to be the first person to blink here and who can capitalize on it first.
So Brian Lawson with another bullseye. He'll take a 1-point advantage into the second half.
Yeah, so a nice round here by both competitors, 28-27. Brian electing to go right down Broadway. Looks like that could be a bullseye popping through in the lower part of the blade.
Looks like a bullseye from Foley as well.
Yeah, nice throw by Brian and Evan. So 5-6, a 33-33, all tied up here.
4 throws to go. We've got a nail biter between Lawson and Foley.
Looks like that's going to be another close call here for Brian. Oh, and Joey, I think we just had our first mistake here. That looks like a 3 there for Evan. And that was a bullseye there for Brian Lawson. So 39-36 going into the 8th throw.
Devastating mistake at an inopportune time for Evan Foley. Not much time for him to get back in this one.
No, it's a devastating mistake there. And you can see, looks like he got back on the board here, but still loses a point to Brian Lawson here. So down by 4 now going into the 9th throw.
Got to go for the kill shot here, and indeed he will.
Yeah, so Evan, you can see with the body posture there, he's none too pleased, but we'll have to get a ruling here on Brian's throw.
Big opportunity here for Foley. It's possible he could tie this thing up with 1 throw.
He can, and wow, we're going to get a closer look here. Could at least be a 7. But the bigger thing, Joey, is what the ruling is for Brian's throw. Ooh, and a 5 there for Brian and an 8 for Evan, so a 3-point swing, Joey.
All of a sudden, we've got a 1-point game heading into the final throw.
Wow, so a 1-point game, both throwers. Yeah, Evan's going to decide to go up, but man, the real question is with Brian, and he elects to go up as well, up by 1, looking to advance.
Yeah, down up by 1. Brian's got to go for it as well. Be the aggressor. Don't give Foley the opportunity to get the win.
Oh, man, we're going to get a close look. These are 2 close throws. Man, it looks like that's at least a 7. And that's a miss there for Evan, so Brian Lawson will be taking the victory.
What a shot from Brian Lawson to seal the deal in this one. He hits the 7 on the kill shot attempt to take the winner-take-all Game 3.
Yeah, just a tremendous matchup here by Brian Lawson and Evan Foley. You know, both players going back and forth. It was really that mistake there, that 3 that Evan threw, that really allowed Brian to kind of take the lead here and advance in this matchup here. But just a tremendous matchup by both throwers. You can see there on Brian's scorecard, he did have 6 bullseyes there on his throw, and that, of course, kill shot 7 there on the 10th throw to seal the deal. But hats off to Evan Foley. He did hit that kill shot 8 there on the 9th throw to make this thing a match. Unfortunately for him, that 3 bug got him again. We'll see if he can eliminate that here from his next matchup. But again, hats off to both competitors. Just a tremendous matchup all around.
Well, let's get right to our next matchup. It's going to be Jackson Gissel taking on Frank Cochran.
Yeah, so our first time seeing both of these throwers. Game number 1 of a best-of-3 match here. Cochran on the left and Gissel on the right. Cochran elected to go for that upper right-hand side bullseye. Gissel going for that lower right-hand side bullseye.
Great start here from Cochran and Gissel. Couple of bullseyes.
Yeah, so a nice throw by both competitors. There seemed to be no nonsense, right to the point here. Cochran going for that lower right-hand side bullseye, looking to go around the horn, and jumping across the board is Gissel, but it looks like that's going to be another couple bullseyes there. Ooh, but ruled a 5 there for Cochran.
And Cochran not missing the bullseye by much. It's another bullseye for Gissel to give him the early lead.
And we'll see if Frank wants to go for that lower left-hand side bullseye. Or go into the middle are both competitors. And a couple 6s for both competitors.
Great start for Cochran and Gissel. It remains a 1-point advantage for Jackson Gissel, 18-17.
Yeah, Jackson with a unicorn there to get this match started, so that's got to be a good feeling for him. It looks like a bullseye there for both competitors, actually.
Couple more bullseyes on throw number 4 from Cochran and Gissel, 24-23. Gissel out to a perfect start.
Yeah, both players just really focus up on the board, really have their throw down. It looks like that could possibly be a mistake there by Gissel here. Let's get a closer look. And it is. It's a 4 there for Jackson and a 5 there for Frank. So If you're going to throw a 4, hopefully your opponent throws at least a 5.
I had to open my mouth and give Jackson Gizzle the old announcer's jinx,
course.
talking about how he'd been perfect through his first 4 throws.
I'm sure he won't hold it against you.
Well, hopefully not, because he's the one with the axe in his hand.
And a couple bullseyes there after the turn, so riding the ship are both competitors.
34 all after 6 throws here between Cochran and Gissel.
So we'll see. Going for that lower right-hand side bullseye. Frank trying to get a closer look. Could be popping through in the bottom part of that blade. I think I see a little bit of red there on our side cam. Our judge is going to get an official look here. She does have the flashlight, so it's a better perspective. And it is ruled a bullseye there for Frank.
You got to have red on both sides of the blade, and that was the case for Frank Cochran. That gives him the lead for the first time in this match, 40-39.
Yeah, and a chance for what we dare not speak. We'll see if he can do it. Oh, it looks like he's off the mark, though. And that's a flush bullseye there by Jackson.
Well, the lead didn't last long for Cochran. Gissel with a flush bullseye down the middle.
Oh, and that was ruled a bullseye there by Frank, so he was able to pick up the unicorn there and maintain his lead. We'll see. We'll get a closer look at that one. That could be a 5 there for him on the lower left-hand side bullseye. That is a bullseye there for Jackson. So now Jackson has a 1-point lead, or tied this thing up, excuse me.
And Gissel going to go up for the kill shot. So too will Cochran.
Well, one of those things, Joey, you'd like a little practice here. If you both hit it and you can go to sudden death, great. If you both miss it, you go to sudden death as well. We'll see. Frank looks fairly confident. Oh, just a dagger throw there by Jackson. We shall see here. This all comes down to the ruling. Oh, and a hit 7 for Jackson and hit 8 for Frank.
What a finish between these two. It's Frank Cochran getting the best of Jackson Gissel by 1 point with the 8 on the kill shot to Jackson's 7.
Yeah, wow. Just a back and forth matchup here. I mean, really the only mistake there you can see on the scorecard there was from Jackson Gissel on his 5th throw. He had a 4, but everything else was 5s and 6s, and both players electing to go for the kill shot there on the 10th throw. Jackson with a very authoritative kill shot throw off the mark, though, and hit a 7 to Frank's 8. So Frank does come away with the victory, 59-58. But just a tremendous matchup. Both players really confident in their throw, very compact throws, just really attacking the board. Not really, no real mistakes to think of or to talk about here. So just a tremendous matchup. I'm looking forward to match number 2 here.
We'll show that to you in a little bit here on Battle Axe. Stay tuned here on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe. We're here at the Ironside Open in Des Moines, Iowa, at the Ironside Axe Club. Some of the world's best competing here for a championship. It has been a thrilling tournament watching these competitors go head-to-head. One of those competitors is Shane Funky. He's back here at the Ironside Open once again. Here's an interview with Funky about what he loves about playing in this tournament.
Everything. Like, we get to bring all the people back together, which obviously I'm friends with. The competitive side of it all, like, it being a national tournament is a big deal, at least for myself. I love running this event, regardless of how many hours it is.
A very jovial guy, Shane Funky. It's fun to watch him.
Yeah, a little behind-the-scenes action here. Shane is actually one of the organizers of the Ironside Open as well. So he is running around, also competing, but also trying to make sure everyone's in the right spot. So he's a man of many talents.
He's doing a great job. Shane Funky taking on Colby Pudell, game number 2.
Yeah, so Colby with just a couple monster kill shots there on the first game between Shane Funky and himself to come away with the victory. 1-0 going into the second match here. I mean, all the pressure's on Shane right now.
And a big miss there from Funky. It's a 4 and a 6 from Pudell. So this time Pudell out to the early lead. He trailed the entire game 1 until the final throw. Now he gets to play in the driver's seat a bit here.
Yeah, Colby, I mean, had that 3 there on his first throw in the first matchup. A lot of nerves going on, knowing he's going up against a tremendous thrower in Shane Funky. But right now, he's playing with house money. He came away with the victory, and it wasn't like he snuck the victory away, Joey. Like, he won that thing with 2 beautiful kill shots there. He kept himself in the match, And just a tremendous job. And it looks like the axe kind of sailing a little sideways there on Shane. Let's see what the ruling is here on that throw.
Yeah, that match was the perfect illustration of why the kill shot is so impactful and why if you make a mistake early, you've still got plenty of time to get back in it, because he was down by 3, and against these type of players, it's hard to come back from that. But if you can just stay the course throughout the match and keep that kill shot in play, you've got a shot, and that's exactly what Pudell did.
Yeah, and kudos to Colby here, because what he did was he stuck around the match long enough that it didn't force Shane to go for the kill shot there on his 9th throw. He went for the kill shot there on his 10th throw because Colby hit his shot on the 9th throw. So he's put himself in a position where he's kind of a little cat and mouse game. So just a tremendous job in that matchup, and he's following it up here in match number 2.
Well, a great first half here from Colby Pudell. Nearly perfect. 29-26, a 3-point advantage for Pudell.
Shane returning to the middle of the board there. Looks like a flush, picturesque bullseye. Could be a bullseye there for Colby as well if it's popping in the right-hand side, but rule of 5, so Shane able to get a point back.
That'll tighten things up a bit, making it a 2-point game.
You can see the intensity there in Shane. He knows his back's up against the wall here, down 0-1 to a young thrower here, and he wants to show the world what he's made of here. And it looks like that could be a bullseye there for Shane if it's popping in the left-hand side. Close call, though.
Big ruling here because it looks like a 5 for Pudell. This is an opportunity for Funky to get within a point.
Yeah, it looks like that is a 5 there for him. And it is a 6 there for Funky, so able to pick up another point. We'll see how the kid responds here.
We've got a 1-point game. Colby Pudell in the driver's seat by the slimmest of margins with 3 throws to go.
Colby getting a score check, 38-39, up by 1. But I love the poise, though. He's just calm, cool, and collected, focusing up on that board, not worrying about what Shane's doing over there. We'll see that. Looks like a bullseye there for Colby. And I think this is a matter of if it's a 5 or a 3 there for Shane. And is ruled a 5, but dangerously close to being a 3 there for Shane.
Well, a fortunate break there for Shane Funky. It's a 2-point lead now for Colby Pudell. Is Funky going to go for the kill? He will.
Yeah, Funky's going to go for the kill here. Colby electing to play the board, which I think is the wise move. He is in the driver's seat, and Shane, you can see it in his eyes there. Off the mark.
A flush bullseye, it appears, from Pudell. That would put it away.
He ruled a 5 there, but as it stands, though, still 5-point advantage here going in, so making the total a 7-point advantage here for Colby.
So it's not over entirely, but we would need a small miracle to see Shane Funky get back in this one.
Get a close look here at that throw.
Wow. Pudell going for the kill shot as well with a 7-point lead. Very aggressive, but he's just been so good at it.
Wow. So Shane misses the kill shot there. Very, very close. Colby comes out the victor, sweeping Shane Funky here in this best-of-3 matchup here at the Ironside Open, 43-51.
What a call by Pudell to go for the kill shot there. Had he missed and Funky hit it,
correct, yeah. It would have been.
He could have lost.
Yeah, he could have lost, absolutely. But, we saw in the first matchup he was very confident going for that kill shot. So he's very comfortable apparently going for that kill shot. But for him, man, this is just another tremendous matchup here. You can see nothing but 6s and 5s on the board. He did go for that kill shot. He hit the 1 there on the 10th throw for a nice score of 51. But it was really that one mistake that Shane made there on the first throw of that 4 that really put him behind the 8 ball, and he was just never really able to recover. So Colby was able to maintain that momentum that he had from the first match, take it over to the second match, and complete the sweep. So hats off to the kid.
Yeah, Colby Pudell will not be pushed around here at the Ironside Open. Here's Pudell on coming out on top in 2 games in that great matchup against Shane Funky.
Well, the game before that, I threw my first 64, so I was already in the jitters and really excited about the game because I knew that I actually had a chance against him. When we threw, I was pretty confident in my kill shots, so the first game, I was just like, please let me hit my kill shots. And I did, so I took the first game, and the second game, he just didn't throw his game. So took the win, hopefully I win a couple more games. That'll be my goal. But if not, hey, there was 64. That's all that matters.
We'll talk about burying the lead. Kobe Pudell put up a round of 64 here at the Ironside Open.
Yeah, we didn't get to see it on Battle Axe here, but apparently he threw a 64. So, man, he is a tremendous thrower, and we'll see what he does in the rest of this Ironside Open.
Yeah, with a perfect game already under his belt, the sky's the limit for Pudell. Next up, it's going to be Jackson Gissel against Frank Cochran.
Yeah, so we saw a great matchup between these two here just a couple moments ago. Frank able to take the victory 59-58 over Jackson with a really nice kill shot there in his 10th throw. Jackson was not off the mark by much. Both players getting this match started off with a bullseye. So Frank lining up, going for that lower right-hand side bullseye, and Jackson electing going for that lower left-hand side bullseye, and a 5 there for Gristle and a 6 for Cochran.
So we are 12-11. Cochran out to the early lead after back-to-back bullseyes.
And going right down Broadway. We'll see if that's popping through for the first unicorn of this match. Looks like that's going to be a 5 there for Jackson. Ooh, but ruled a 4 there, so not popping through on the right-hand side of the blade there for Jackson. You can see visibly upset, knowing that his back is up against the wall here in this matchup and cannot stand that 4 mistake there.
A unicorn for Cochran.
And going around the world, looks like that's going to be another bullseye there for Cochran. The lower left-hand side bullseye, and I think Jackson was able to right the ship there a little bit. Looks like a bullseye popping through in the top part of the blade. And it is. But, man, a tremendous matchup here by Frank. 24-21 going into the 5th throw. Jackson just needs to be a goldfish and forget about that throw. We'll see if Cochran can land the perfect first round, but it is a couple 5s for both competitors.
I didn't jinx him this time, though. I kept my
You
mouth
did.
shut. He did it on his own. Still a 3-point lead, though, for Frank Cochran after a fantastic first half. Jackson Gissel with some work to do in the second half.
Yeah, he's only down by 3. So, again, in this situation, with 5 throws left, you really just want to try to chip away, try to get a point here, a point there, really set yourself up for that kill shot attempt. See if you can kind of sneak away with the victory in the 9th and 10th throw. But it really comes down to these next couple throws here to see how he fares. But Frank lining up, going for that upper right-hand side bullseye. Just a really great authoritative throw by both throwers, actually. And a 5 there for Frank and a 6 there for Jackson. So Jackson able to make up a point here. 32-34 going into the 7th throw.
Things tightening up here in this game that Jackson Gissel has to have if he wants to play a game 3.
I think we saw our first mistake here from Frank in this match. That's a 3 there for him and a 6 there for Jackson. So able to turn the tide in 2 throws, 38-37, a chance for a unicorn here on his 8th throw. We'll see how he fares.
Yeah, in just 2 throws, Jackson Gissel turns a 1-point deficit into a 1-point lead.
Well, and it's exactly what you want to happen. You don't want to bank on it, obviously, especially in a tournament like this with the caliber of throwers that we have. But Jackson doing his part, throwing a unicorn after the turn, waiting on Frank to make a mistake, which he did on his 7th throw. Both players electing to going up for the kill shot here on the 9th throw.
3-point deficit is what I should have said. I was never good at math.
That's okay, Joe. You can't be great at everything.
Well, that's why we've got the best team of Battle Axe statisticians working on the show.
Oh, wow, and it's a hit 8 there for Frank, so able to withstand the barrage here from Jackson after the turn. Hits a flush kill shot 8 there to take a lead, 51-44. That's 7 points, Joey, if you're wondering. And Jackson is very dejected, just throwing the axe at the board there. Looks like that could at least be a 7, though. And it is.
So it is a 7 for Jackson Gissel, but too little too late as Frank Cochran puts this one away in 2.
Yeah, for Jackson, he worked so hard to come back in this matchup. He had those 3 consecutive bullseyes after the turn to take a lead here in this match, and they both elect to go for the kill shot there on the 9th throw. Frank hits his 8, and then Jackson is off the mark. So, obviously it's disappointing here for Jackson Gissel, but You just really have to tip your cap here to Frank Cochran, who, started off this match with 4 consecutive bullseyes. He did follow it up with that 3 there on his 7th throw, which really allowed the Jackson to come back in this matchup. But man, he responded really nicely with the bullseye there. That flush kill shot there on his 9th throw for the 8 really sealed the deal and allowed him to advance with the sweep in this matchup here, 56-51. Another tremendous matchup.
Well, a great run from Jackson Gissel. Much more Battle Axe still to come here on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe here at the Ironside Open from the Ironside Axe Club in Des Moines, Iowa. I'm Joey Danya alongside Bobby Bradford. We've had the privilege of calling all of the action here at the Ironside Open. It's been a thrilling tournament thus far. Great atmosphere here in Des Moines. Can't wait to see how the rest of this tournament plays out.
Yeah, we've had some tremendous finishes and some heartbreaking losses here.
Evan Foley, next up, he's going to take on Greg Ward.
Yeah, so we saw Greg Ward in our last coverage of the Ironside Open, and of course Evan Foley, we saw him earlier on in this episode, falling to Brian Lawson in a 3-game series. So down in the B bracket here, we'll see how it fares for both competitors.
See if that's a bullseye from Foley. Also get a ruling on this shot from Greg.
And it is ruled a bullseye there for Evan, and just off the mark is Greg Ward. Greg is also a very accomplished axe maker. He creates the handles for axes, Joey.
That's the kind of insight you only get here on Battle Axe. Great little tidbit about Greg Ward.
Oh, some beautiful axe handles Greg Ward creates. Much are on display here at the Ironside Open as well. A fixture within the community. Ooh.
Just a devastating 3 there from Evan Foley. He can't believe it. He's getting a closer look. He's not going to get a second opinion. So all of a sudden, Greg Ward has himself a 1-point advantage.
Yeah, and just like we saw with the matchup with Brian Lawson, Evan flirting with that 3-ring here a little too often. Man, you can see it again. He's none too happy with that throw, and that is another 3 there for Evan.
Greg Ward taking advantage now of back-to-back 3s from Evan Foley. It's a bullseye from Ward. He's got a 4-point lead.
We've seen it so many times in Battle Axe Pass. You got to really stick with your opponent. Those 3s are not going to cut it. That's going to really increase the deficit quite a bit. But both players doing a nice job of getting back on the board. Back-to-back bullseyes there for both competitors. 22-18 going into the 5th row.
So Greg Ward heating up here with back-to-back bullseyes.
Yeah, so Greg focusing up on the board, going for that lower right-hand side bullseye. Looks like that could possibly be a bullseye if it's popping through on the right-hand side of the blade. And Evan going down Broadway, and a couple bullseyes there for both competitors.
And a unicorn for Greg Ward to wrap up a nice first half. He'll take a 28-24 lead into the second half.
Yeah, so Evan doing a nice job responding from those back-to-back 3s. A chance for what we dare not speak after the turn here. Ooh, it looks like it could be popping through on the right-hand side of the blade there for Evan for a bullseye. We'll get the ruling here on Greg's throw. I think Evan's got a bullseye here. We'll see if he can pick up a point here on Greg. Very big call here for... But ruled a 5 there for Greg and a 6 there for Evan. So Evan able to pick up a point here going into the 7th throw.
So that'll get Foley within 3. 33-30. 4 throws to go in regulation.
Okay, so it's important here for Evan just to focus up on that board, eliminate mistakes. Don't worry about what Greg's doing over there. You can see the axe getting away from him. He's got to be hoping that that's a 5. Otherwise, it's going to be a 4. And it is a rule of 4 there, and a flush bullseye there by Greg Ward to gain 2 points here on Evan Foley.
That'll extend Ward's lead to 5. 3 throws to go.
39-34 with 3 throws to go. You know, it's a situation I don't know how confident Evan is going for the kill shots here, but it's something where maybe you can turn the tide here a little bit. If you can go for the kill shot there on your 8th throw, really kind of put some pressure on Greg here with 2 throws to go.
But another big mistake from Foley, a 4.
Yeah.
Just like that, it's a 7-point lead for Greg Ward. It's going to take a small miracle to get Evan Foley back in this one.
Yeah, Evan going to be going for the kill shot here. Looks like that's at least a 5 there for Greg, if not a bullseye. And that's a hit 8 there for Evan. So a nice flush bullseye, able to get 2 points back here. We'll see if he can do it again.
So Evan Foley doing his part to stay in this one, but he's got to get another kill shot here and have a mistake from Ward.
Yeah, he's really in a situation he has to have a devastating mistake from Greg here, and Greg is not going to oblige. And Evan is off the mark, it looks like. We'll wait for the official ruling here, but and it is a miss there for Evan.
So Greg Ward getting the victory here in Game 1 against Evan Foley, 56-46.
So Evan Foley falls to Greg Ward here in the first match of a best of 3, 56-46. You know, it's just really the kind of same tail of the tape that we've seen here from Evan Foley. You know, a couple threes there on his second and third throw, really put him behind the 8 ball, didn't allow him to be in the driver's seat in this matchup. He did follow it up nicely with a nice unicorn there from his 4th to 6th throw, but then followed that up with a couple 4s as well, which allowed Greg to add on to his lead as well. So those are the things that Evan really has to clean up and hope that he can fix in real time so that he can keep advancing here in this B bracket. But then for Greg Ward, as you can see there, he did have that unicorn on his 3rd through 5th throw and then another one on his 7th through 9th throw. So very in command, really consistent round, nice score of 56. We'll see if he can complete the sweep.
Yeah, we'll bring you the conclusion to this series on the next episode of Battle Axe. For Bobby Bradford and the entire MC22 crew, thanks for watching Battle Axe. We'll see you next time.